Hello everyone, my name is Aman. Today I'll be presenting my research on human resource management and employment relations strategy in the Australian retail sector focusing on JB Hi-Fi. This presentation is based on our detailed analysis of JB's Hi-Fi external environment, business strategy, HR and ER strategy and recruitment and selection practices. So let's dive into this deep research presentation and see what we found out. So, if I say the purpose of this research is to critically examine how HR and ER strategies operate in a large Australian retail organization, I choose JB Hi-Fi because it is one of Australia's leading retailers with over 13,000 employees and it faces unique challenges like casualization, turnover, compliance, and digital disruption. And me myself, I'm working in the same company. In this presentation, I'll begin with an environmental scan, move to business strategy, then HR strategy, a focused look at recruitment and selection, and finally share recommendation and a conclusion. So let's see. As we can see, JB Hi-Fi was founded in Melbourne in 1974 and has grown into one of Australia and New Zealand's largest electronics and home entertainment retailers. The company employs around 13,000 staff across the region. Its business model is built on two key pillars. Number one, cost leadership, that means keeping prices low through efficiency, and customer intimacy, which comes from an informal, high energy service culture that makes the shopping experience unique. Competitors like Amazon, Harvey Norman, and the Good Guys create constant pressure, so HR strategy become critical for maintaining JB Hi-Fi's competitive edge. So as we move on to the next slide, externally several factors shape JB Hi-Fi's HR and ER practices. Politically and legally, it operates under the Fair Work Act, enterprise bargaining agreements, and SDA union negotiations. Economically, inflation and cost of living pressure affect consumer spending, though JB Hi-Fi has managed to maintain strong profits. Socially, its work is dominated by young, casual employees, which brings energy but also high turnover. As you can see about me, I'm a 23 years old working in JB Hi-Fi that is bringing up whole bunch of energy and whole bunch of new experiences. Technologically, the rise of e-commerce demands new digital skills and omni-channel sales capabilities. And environmentally, customers increasingly expect ethical sourcing and sustainability commitments. Together, these forces push JB Hi-Fi to adopt both its business and HR strategy. So let's move on to the next slide. If I say about the internal environmental scanning, internally JB Hi-Fi culture is informal, energetic, and customer focused. The workforce is largely casual or part-time, which provides flexibility but also result in high staff turnover. HR is highly decentralized. Corporate HR handles compliance and enterprise agreements, but store managers are responsible for day-to-day HR functions such as recruitment, scheduling, and performance management. This system creates agility but also risk inconsistency. The main challenges include inconsistency recruitment standards, limited career progression for casuals, and the growth need for digital capabilities. So now let's move on to business strategy. JB Hi-Fi's business strategy is based on two things: cost leadership and customer intimacy. Cost leadership means operating on thin margin with a low cost structure. Customer intimacy is achieved by creating an authentic, enthusiastic retail culture where staff connect with customers. Competition is fierce, with Amazon focusing on online dominance and Harvey Norman competing with multi channel approaches. For HR, the implication is clear. It must provide a flexible, cost effective workforce that still delivers high level of customer service and engagement. If we see more focus and more closely to HR strategy, JB Hi-Fi HR strategy balances what we call hard and soft HRM. Hard HRM focuses on cost control, casualization, and compliance with the Fair Work system. Soft HRM emphasizes engagement, autonomy, and maintaining the company's strong culture. The structure is decentralized. Corporate HR set compliance frameworks and manages EBAs, while store manager make frontline HR decisions. The tension here is that store manager often focuses on immediate staffing needs, while corporate HR wants consistency and long-term workforce development. The tension is central to JB Hi-Fi's HR challenges. Let's move on to next slides and see what we got. So now we are talking about employment relation in JB Hi-Fi. In terms of employment relation, JB Hi-Fi operates within Australia's highly regulated framework. Employees are covered by enterprise bargaining agreement negotiation with the SDA union, while union membership is modest. These agreements shape wages and conditions. Employee voice is mainly exercised informally through dialogue with store managers rather than formal collectively mechanism. The ER, which is employment relation climate, is relatively stable, but the reliance on casual work creates risk around fairness and job security. National debates about underpayments in retail also place reputational pressure on the company. So now let's move on to recruitment and selection, and we are talking about what are the current practices in the company. Recruitment and selection are critical HR functions in retail, where employees are the face of the business. At JB Hi-Fi, recruitment is decentralized to store managers. Common channels include walk-in applications, staff referrals, and online postings. Managers tend to prioritize enthusiasm, cultural fit, and interpersonal skills over formal qualification. This approach supports agility and reinforces JB Hi-Fi's informal culture. However, it also leads to weakness, high turnover, inconsistent standards across stores, and limited focus on digital skills that are increasingly important. Now, we are moving to our recommendation. In order to improve recruitment, I propose 5 recommendations that I feel should be on topmost priority of the company. First, implement competency based frameworks to standardize criteria across all store. Second, strengthen employer branding to attract young talent by promoting JB Hi-Fi culture and career opportunities. Third, adopt a hybrid recruitment model where store managers shortlist candidate but corporate HR provides oversight. Fourth, introduce structured onboarding and training programs to reduce early turnover. And in the end, fifth, develop career pathways so casual employees can transition into permanent or managerial roles, especially in e-commerce and IT support. These steps would align recruitment more closely with JB Hi-Fi's strategic needs. Now we are to the end of our presentation, and in conclusion, JB Hi-Fi demonstrate how HRM and ER strategies must balance cost efficiency with employee engagement. Recruitment and selection are particularly critical because they directly impact customer service quality and workforce stability. Currently, decentralized hiring support flexibility but creates risk of inconsistency and high turnover. By adopting more structured recruitment system, improving branding, onboarding, and career pathways, JB Hi-Fi can strengthen both engagement and performance. This case shows that in Australian retail, HR must be both strategically aligned with business goal and response to employee needs to ensure long-term competitiveness. Thank you so much for being so nice audience, and thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoy the presentation, and if you have any question about the presentation, you can leave a comment on this video. Thank you so much and have a lovely day ahead.